just wanted to hop on really quick and give you a brief update about our co-working and event space. The biggest news is that after 14 months, we can finally open our doors, but we will not be opening as Denizens Co-working and Events. We have changed our name to Green Pines Creative Co-working and Events, or the GPC for short. Not only are we a co-working space where you can rent, private offices, semi-private offices, or just open co-working spaces. We also offer event spaces, whether someone needs to have birthday parties, business meetings, film screenings, all of those things can happen here. I just wanted to say thank you to all of our supporters, to everyone who participated in the marketing events that we had to test out the space and to make sure everything ran smoothly. So come by for a tour, check out some of the amazing artwork that we have, and if you have an event that's coming up, let us know. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. I want to show you a little bit of our space. This is our private office area. We have a lot of bright colors because a lot of folks need content. I can't show them the purple room because that's rented out to an entrepreneur, and she had some proprietary information, so we covered that up for her. This is the yellow room. This is our sewing area here. Artwork by LaJean Miller. This is a really dope mural by a local artist named Omar Martinez. And we hire artists of all backgrounds, but this is people from our community. This was painted by teens from the United Cambodian community. And look at this effect. You can go ahead, Mel. I'm doing a video for TikTok. Look at that outfit. Mel over here slaying. Let me switch. She was laughing because I don't know a lot of slang. I'm learning all that stuff at 51. Plus, it's a whole new generation. I don't know what all these words mean. But anyway, back to the art. That is a mural by an artist from the Inland Empire, Artrell. This is some other artwork here by Kale Lalonde. This is her self-portrait. And then this is our space corridor. Kale did this mural. We decorated around the artist's work. So once we saw her space theme, we got some Doctor Who, door murals, artwork by Tito Gonzalez Blaine. If you think that you are a member of our community and that you can rock with people like us, I'm gonna invite you again every Friday. So this is some of Jamia's work from her Flower Child series. When the more experienced artists come into our space, they usually will teach the other artists their techniques, because that mural you just saw was based off of this digital image that Jamia did. Here, I think we just hung these up. We don't even have prices for them yet because I have to ask her how much they cost. It's decorated to make sure that Black and brown artists can see themselves represented in a space. But this piece is called The Projects. And then this is one of these other images here. Sorry, the image from the business cable is coming through. We have it almost always set to something artistic. This is like the tattoo channel from Atmosphere TV. Then here's some additional work by an artist named Terrence O'Debony. This is his piece called Water. So cool. Terrence was one of those artists who kept all of his things at home, and I begged him to let us put it on the wall, and he sold a lot of pieces. This is where artists can come and, grab a guitar off the wall, do lessons, have a jam session. We decorated it with some of our favorite artists. Get around here. Trying not to capture other folks who are in the room. So if people, want to earn money by doing music lessons or something like that, if they need a safe place for their band to rehearse.
I want to say thank you to Green Pines Co-working Space. It's been a saving grace, a place of grace and space for our community, especially in the under-resourced and privileged parts of Long Beach, California, which I'm an over 50-year resident here. We've been able to have several meetings here from our Black Liberation meetings that we've had here throughout the year, and we just currently had our Long Beach Black Workers Center community partner meeting here. I just want to thank you so much, because often in our community, we don't have a place or a space that will sponsor us. As we roll out our community partnerships, and this is a place that it feels like home. We've been able to make so much progress because before you all came here, we would have to rent different places, but you all have been able to sponsor us just on the strength of helping to build and empower community from a community-driven perspective. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on, about the empowerment that this place have given us and what this means to us in the community.
I know people usually see me filming in front of Lenny Kravitz because I've been working out of the the music room, but these are some of our artists here: Adriana Sunshine and Anthony Gray. And then, of course, next to some greats like Nipsey Hussle and Carlos Santana, Rihanna, Nigel Roman, who's produced a couple of songs with us, Nakai Love, Michael, and again, next to some greats, Nirvana. And of course, most of us love Korn. And then we have, again, hiring artists to just create, as long as it's not overtly sexual or violent, we don't really mind what they paint. Some of you heard me mention in a previous video that we're looking at doing co-working, co-living, and events. All 4 of our companies have, for the most part, been self-funded, with the exception of a few small grants here and there, but this is all self-funded with our community. Now, we've been doing this whole co-working and events thing for 3 years. To me, this was proof of concept.
Maybe that can change, 'cause I feel this way about you, girl.
I've been trying to kind of make this this video for a while, a lot of starts and stops, and I know we've been promising to share with everybody what has been happening. Like we've had to let people know in stages, so our members, Green Pines Media artists, all of this stuff. But let me kind of start from the beginning, and I'll let Terry jump in wherever. We were talking to the owner about buying the building. We were looking into getting a commercial real estate loan, but interest rates are way too crazy right now. It's essentially a credit card. There's no way. The monthly note that we would be paying, it was like $24,000. Like, yeah, there's no way. We have a triple net lease. Let me go back a little bit. And so we take care of everything except the roof and the foundation and the bearing walls, which is like the basement essentially. And we were having all these plumbing problems, and we take care of it because it's our responsibility, and we do what we're supposed to do. And I jokingly told the owner, like, man, all of these plumbing problems, we might as well just buy the building. I'm just venting. And he's like, we're not, interested in selling. But then the next day he's like, it may have been too hasty. Make me an offer. And so I told him, I'm going to need some time to talk with our people to see what does that even look like. Then we have the more serious discussion, which was supposed to be May 4th, right? The amount he's asking is way more than we want to pay. But you know what? Let's see if we could get there. And we were actually going to talk with investors because we have this whole plan for the building. So the idea was if we could talk with the city about developing the basement, we would move the co-working spaces into the basement and on the second level create supportive housing. I remember when I was like living in Atlanta, having a job that was, just a little bit above minimum wage, I could still afford to have an apartment. And youth can't do that right now. And so we wanted some type of a creative housing situation where if young people were working just minimum wage jobs, they would still be able to afford housing. We didn't know if that would be like dorm style living or hostel style living. And because of that, when the owner wanted this huge amount of money, I said, you know what, we're going to have to talk to investors about this. But before we do that, we would need to do our due diligence because there have been some issues with the roof leaking since we moved here, and the owner's been aware of that. He's been having his people patch the roof, but the patching is not working, and the leaks were getting worse. Things were like coming through light fixtures, and he's like, oh yeah, we'll send our guys out. It just didn't work. So finally I was like, you need a new roof. I thought he was an ally. He's also a Trojan, fight on. This is how I knew that maybe the owner was not as much of an ally as I believed he was. He asked me to go down into the basement and take a photo of the electrical panel for his insurance company. And I sent it to him and said, hey, there's corrosion all over. I knew he was not an ally because his response at one point was, is that corrosion? Maybe you could just wipe it off. Because of that statement and needing to have investors, I thought, okay, let me hire an inspector. Kevin Held, thank you so much because you saved us a lot of heartache and a lot of problems. So anyway,
a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money. And he did a thorough inspection from top to bottom. Use this man, please. His services are phenomenal. He took some amazing photos, had this very thorough report. Not only is the roof shot, which we knew, but even worse than that, when it rains, there is literally water leaking into the main electrical panel. Essentially, the response from the owner was, nope, Green Pines is responsible for the electrical and the plumbing. Yes, we are. This is not just the electrical and the plumbing. The owner is responsible for the roof, and the owner is also responsible for the bearing walls, and literally the water is coming through the wall in the basement, which is their responsibility. I had to send that letter, which is, if you don't correct these issues in 30 days, we are going to exercise our right, as outlined in the lease, that we're going to be gone in 60 days. It's heartbreaking. We have put so much money, time, and effort into this space, and that's part of business. It is what it is. You just try to do it to the best of your ability, but what we were doing is working. Nonprofits we're really in alignment. So it's really been working well. So not only were we booked almost every single weekend, we were starting to get booked during the week. If we have to leave in July, those people who have booked at the end of July or in August or in September, it's the right thing to do to let them know so that they can find other event spaces or so they can make arrangements to rent offices somewhere else. The other thing that really frustrates me is we hired the best community manager, Christina Caston. Thank you so much. Most of you know Christina is also my cousin. Phenomenal worker. But the reality is they have bills. And so Christina had to go look for another job, which we completely supported her 100% on doing that. And of course, because she's an amazing worker, she got a job offer. So Christina is leaving. That is the thing that bothers me the most. This is essentially a family business. My cousin, she's leaving. And the fact that someone just not doing what they're supposed to do. Now, we have a plan. We'll talk with some of the artists to see if, they could work part-time and help out. Jill and Mark came by to visit, and Jill reminded me, like, Dina, this is something that you can pack up, you can move. It's something we could even scale if need be, because every city has super talented young people who just want a safe place to go, a place to create, a place to just feel comfortable. Because a lot of our artists don't always get treated super well or don't always experience great customer service, we go above and beyond. I truly believe that everybody can win if we do our part. So we are looking for a new building, hopefully in Long Beach. We'd love to have on-site parking. We would love to have maybe an outside patio area. We'll pray about it. We'll see what happens. I think we've told quite a few of you guys that these are not necessarily faith-based companies that we are operating, but we are definitely people of faith. If we find another building and we continue operations, great. If we need to pack things up and put it in storage, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I've spent so much time working on the building and the space because it is the money-making part of the Green Pines Creative Collective. But we didn't necessarily need a big building for Green Pines Media or, to do the other work we're doing. So I don't know yet. We're just going to pray about it. If you guys know of anybody who has a building, either, wants to sell or owner financing without crazy interest rates, or maybe even a lease, but a good roof, please. Nothing leaking into the electrical panel. No plumbing, no raw sewage leaking into the basement, please. I know I'm talking a lot. Is there anything you want to add? Sorry, Terry.
This was mostly about you anyway. I wanted you to be able to talk and tell the story. When we work with the artists that we work with, and when we invite the community into this space, this is a ministry. The simple fact that this building is now, it's in such disrepair that it is unsafe for the people who are coming through those doors, that makes me angry. That anger fuels my fire to take what we're doing elsewhere and to thrive and bring our community with us. Because the community that we've built here and will continue to build is phenomenal. We have met so many amazing people, young people who are insanely talented. Every time someone comes through our doors, they say this place is a hidden gem. I didn't want it to be hidden anymore. I wanted to take the lid off of it and shine this light as far as it would go. Unfortunately, the owner has dimmed that light. We've had a lot of special moments here. We've had our anniversary parties here. We had an insanely amazing grand opening here. Mm-hmm. We had a moment in this room that we are in right now where there was a jam session. It was a cipher.
It's pinned to our Instagram.
You can call it what you want. That was probably the preeminent moment when I think of this place, it's in my mind. When folks walk through these doors, they feel the specialness that's here. I'm going to give this beautiful woman her props because it's not the building. It's what she's done in the building.
That's really nice.
When I give tours, I always talk about the intention behind everything that is done here. From the decor, from the gallery, from the pops of color in our break room for folks to film content. Upstairs we have our little sewing center because We know a bunch of stylists that want to come in and do their thing. Everything here what is done with intention, and because things have been done intentionally, people come in these doors and they go, "Wow, this is a space where I want to be." That's what gives me hope, because it's not this building, it's her.
It's nice.
And we can take this wherever we want to. It will not be the same, obviously, but who's to say that it won't be better?
Amen to that.
We can recreate the feeling. We can recreate the comfortability. We can recreate the intentionality behind what we're doing, because we're genuine. We're doing this for people.
Yeah.
And for the community, and for our community, and for the young people that we work with, and for the artists that we work with. It's not about chasing every single penny. It's not chasing a dollar.
Right.
Our mission, it's twofold. We are a for-profit company, so we need to make money to stay in business. But alongside that, we also want to make sure that our artists get paid. You can't have one without the other. But it all culminates and goes back into doing social work different.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sort of our tagline.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Doing social work different. And it comes from her. I'm along for the ride. In the 24 plus years that I've known her, and the 21 years that we've been married, I have never been more proud of her.
Oh, thank you, man.
Because this community has been built through her literal blood, sweat, and tears. And
Oh yeah.
a little bit of mine too.
Yeah.
Because I play supporter, advisor, and pack mule.
Yeah,
Whatever needs to be done at the time.
We want to go where what we do is appreciated, because we will bring value.
For those of you out there, if you have ever been in the space, if you have ever been impacted by what we do, or if you love our mission, and if you're a supporter of ours, we would love to hear from you. Make a video on how you've been impacted by the space, or by the music, or by anything that has to do with Green Pines creative. To hear from you, and to hear how we've impacted your lives would mean so much to us.
If we have. And maybe we have. Maybe we're delusional and nobody's wanted anything except for people.
Yeah. And honestly, if you
I'll go get a 9 to 5.
You can also write us and tell us that you guys suck, and
We never liked you.
you just let us know how we've impacted you, good or bad. Hopefully good.
Well, that's all I got. I just wanted to give the update because I was waiting a very long time to do that. I don't know. I wanted to make sure that Friends of the Children had their launch in Long Beach. I wanted to make sure that we, had a good day with our thrifting event. We just wanted to have like some good events, and then we wanted to share this with everybody. Again, we'll be here at least until July 8th. So we'll still have our anniversary party for Green Pines Creative Inc. It'll be our 5-year anniversary.
And we party it down.
Yeah, it'll look a little different.
It's going to look a little different,
yeah,
but you know what? Because of all the stuff that's been going on,
we need it.
We need it.
I was going to do an update about the building. I think the easiest way to do this is just to read the email that I sent out to members of our community. And that's why you see the little blue thing in my glasses. Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. My apologies for the very delayed update about the new building. I took a much-needed vacation and spent time with my father, who needed help while recovering from surgery. As many of you know, we moved out of 129 West 5th Street on October 31st, 2024. Although the owner eventually replaced the roof and the main electrical panel, we discovered major water intrusion in the basement during our final walkthrough, which validated our decision to leave. We found a great building near the traffic circle with on-site parking. We applied for an SBA loan, submitted our financials, and worked diligently with an approved lender referred by SCORE. Despite having excellent credit and a solid plan, we were essentially ghosted. We'll be taking further action to ensure that no fraud has occurred. However, we're taking this as a sign to go in a different direction. We followed all the rules during our 3 years in downtown Long Beach. We invested over $500,000 in a sustainable business that successfully helped artists who have aged out of foster care and adjacent systems. We also assisted teen creatives, nonprofits, the surrounding community, and entrepreneurs from all backgrounds. We accomplished this through bootstrapping and support from our community. In the midst of that, we experienced a 14-month delay from the city, which caused an $85,000 loss before we even opened our doors. We've also had to deal with gatekeepers and, of course, an unethical property owner. We're planning to continue our work. However, we're no longer interested in a building that we don't own outright. As a result, we've decided not to reopen Green Pines Creative Coworking and Events. We are creating a team to help us build a retreat and learning center on the 18 acres that we own in Lower Alabama instead. We plan to have event space, short-term accommodations, long-term housing, grow food, and learn authentic life skills in the serenity of the country. Most importantly, we're planning to accomplish this debt-free. If you're interested in learning more, please follow us on Instagram at thegpc.space. We'll be posting updates as they occur. You're welcome to email me with questions. However, it may take some time for me to respond. Thank you for all your support. I have since talked with a lender who assured me that the ghosting, it was just because they were really busy during the fourth quarter and because of the holidays. And while I appreciate that, we changed our mind because the monthly note on a loan that's $2.5 million was about $15,000 a month. On top of that, insurance rates are getting crazy and private equity has gotten involved in the service industry. I am done with this late stage capitalism where you just keep getting squeezed. We're opting out of loans. We're going to do this debt free. What we're doing is actually going to give people an opportunity to own their own land as well.